Hey, what's up, everyone? It's the SatsMate Stack, and today I'm going to talk about my experience in Bitcoin Vegas and Bitcoin Prague in the past month. So, in the past month, I have attended two Bitcoin conferences, and honestly, I am a little bit Bitcoined out right now. It was great, it was a lot, but it's a lot of speakers, some of the stuff was the same, and I'll get all into it just so you guys know for next year, maybe what you should consider thinking about doing. Go live through my experiences in this podcast. So I think conferences are key to go to connect, and to surround yourself with people and get the latest and greatest firsthand. Like it's so important to go to these conferences because you can go on the internet, the spaces, you can even go on YouTube, watch videos, but the best thing you can possibly do to position yourself is put yourself in a position to learn firsthand, meet people, and really understand how the network is doing. So I'm going to talk about my thoughts on Prague, the Venetian. Would I go again? I thought that there was a lot of very interesting things that I saw, a lot of pros and cons, but generally, everything was really great. I'm kind of going down memory lane right now, but I've been to Vegas many times in my life, and this was kind of it reminded me a lot of my other times. And Vegas is a very fiat place. A lot of people chasing money, a lot of glitz and glamour, expensive luxury places. Everything is super expensive there. So I found it very interesting that they're doing it at the Venetian. Not every Bitcoiner can afford to go there. In addition to not every Bitcoiner can afford to stay at the Venetian and get the tickets. So it's so fiat there and expensive. Gambling is a very sinful activity too, which is fine. We should all make our own decisions, but it was also like more cost prohibitive than any of the other conferences I've been to. So I'm hoping next year they're doing it at the Venetian again, but it'd be cool to see them switch it up, do it somewhere better, in my opinion. There was a lot of shitcoiners in Vegas. Must have been like 70-80% of them. And, furthermore, like there's sleaziness and people that, you just look at, you just can't trust them. There's like a crowd there where you meet them, you shake their hand, and you just get a weird feeling. I don't know. It's interesting. If you guys go, you'll know what I'm talking about. But it's so nice to also see like some of the influencers that have made it in the space, like Lynn Alden and Lawrence Lepard, and a lot of these people that I've looked up to. They were there. They were signing books. They were connecting with people. I got to talk to a few of them. And from my view in Vegas, it was the worst one I've been to. Miami and Nashville, I rate them much higher. I would rate this one a 6 out of 10. I still think it's better to go, if it's your first one, if you like Vegas and you like Bitcoin, maybe it's worth going. But it did not feel like a traditional or normal Bitcoin conference like the ones I've been to in the past. It felt a little bit colder and corporate, and it felt a little bit more, much more fiat, a lot more fiat. So, there was like some really big advantages to this conference. I got to see some people that I really liked in person give speeches, got to network, but Ross's speech was one of the best. If you get one takeaway from this podcast, listen to Ross Ulbricht's speech. Absolutely incredible speech. There was a tear coming down my face, a tear coming down my fiance's face. I mean, it was that good. It gives me goosebumps now talking about it. It was such a good speech, and I just think it's key that we go there and like those kind of moments are so important. And this was kind of the vibe I got. A lot of people were like Bitcoin treasury maximalists, so they weren't even like Bitcoiners. They were like, oh yeah, I own Metaplanet, and I own MicroStrategy, and I own name your Bitcoin treasury company. And they wore the hats. And there was a Michael Saylor speech, and this is kind of telling about who the audience is at the conference. But there was a Michael Saylor speech, and right when his speech ended, pretty much 20 to 40% of the room got up and walked away. And Ross Ulbricht was next. And if that has anything to indicate about what kind of people were at this conference, it was just greedy fiat maxis that were just trying to make a quick buck. They weren't there because they wanted to genuinely see about libertarian and freedom and what Bitcoin can do. They were just there because they want to see the number in their portfolio go up. It was for a lot of them, it was a number in portfolio go up conference. Not even a number Bitcoin go up. It was number in Fidelity portfolio go up. That's what many people were there for. Now, something I wanted to bring up too is like the side events. That's where the gold was, guys. If you go to these things, you got to go to the side events, the pub key events, those golf parties. It's just made it so much better, and that probably made it a 9 out of 10 for me. And I'm at the stage now where I don't even really want to watch the speakers at this point in my career, my life. I would rather just spend the full time at the conference networking, just meeting people, getting their names, all that stuff. That's kind of where I'm at this point. Now I'm going to quickly pivot to Bitcoin Prague. Prague was incredible. I enjoyed it so much. It was everything I've wanted a conference to be like. I mean, it was so much more intimate, warm, and welcoming. It was smaller. You got to know the people a little bit more. The networking, it was focused more on the networking side. There wasn't as much scams like at the Bitcoin conference in Vegas. It was probably 90% scams here. Yeah, there were some scammy booths, but generally speaking, it was 90% in Vegas and Prague. It was probably 20 or 30% scams. So it was a lot less, which was really cool. There were still salesy things in the convention centers, but the Primal booth was fun, and there was an Aqua booth, and there was a Bitcoin Way booth, and a Age, and Lugano booth. So I mean, there was other booths there that were really cool, and I really liked that a lot. And one of the things, and I don't want to sound like, yeah, you can get a pint anywhere, but it's really easy to get these beers at the conference and just go up to a table and talk to people. That never happens at, when I was in even Miami years ago. I would go up and talk to people, and they'd be more closed off. Here, it felt like you can just grab a pint and talk to someone, and the patio outside was nice, and the beanbag chairs, and just networking with people at the tables was amazing, and I loved that. That was very awesome. And I think too, even being able to watch the speakers from the inside and grab a pint was pretty cool. It's you don't see that as much at the normal Bitcoin conferences, but here that was there. And the food trucks were cheaper. I remember past couple of years at Bitcoin conferences in Miami or Nashville, or even Vegas, there'd be a food truck or something, and it'd be $24 for a crappy sandwich. It's no, here the food was incredible, and it complemented with the beer. It was amazing. So I would put it actually Prague. So I've been to almost 6 conferences now, I think. Yeah. I would put Prague as number 1. Number 2, I would put Nashville. Number 3, Miami. Number 4, Vegas. And I've been to several Miami ones. Miami, I the time. It was good. Happened a few years. That was enough. But, the one thing was the location was kind of far from the old town. So if that could have been closer, that would have been nice. But overall, it was a very, very nice and well put together conference. It was intimate enough, but also large enough. Saylor spoke. He had a phenomenal speech. Mahler spoke. Phenomenal speech. A lot of great speeches. So I really liked that. And, if you're a maxi, I would try to not attend the Vegas conference or the ones hosted by Bailey. I would try to go to the ones that are hosted, um, in Europe or in Central or South America, or there's going to be one in Madeira in a few years. I'm definitely going to that. So I'm hesitant to go again to Bitcoin Vegas conference. I mean, I have a ticket, but I will definitely go to other countries more and get to meet the people and the culture. Like the people I met, it was awesome, guys. I met so many cool people in Prague, and I'm going to remain with those connections the rest of my. I mean, just the Run for Hell was amazing. It was so cool running with them and supporting the ALS network and the cause, but also just being there to help. And it was a great time. So overall, Bitcoin Vegas in Prague, it was great. I'm glad I did it. But just know that know what you're getting into, know what the conference is about, because there's different types of Bitcoin conferences. Some of them are technical, some of them are for extreme maxis, some of them are for shareholders of companies, some of them are for Europeans. So highly recommend you guys consider going one of the years. I keep going. I like it. I like meeting people. I like seeing where things are headed. So I wouldn't be going every year if it wasn't value added to me. But I just think that, those are some of my thoughts. Try to go to the ones that are smaller, more intimate, and are less shitcoiny. Anyways, guys, if you liked it, feel free to like, comment, rate, subscribe, share it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.